Okay, good. Okay, one more time. Let's go. Big pause. So, guys, yesterday morning we did almost all of Chinte. So we're going to start by going through the first part again, just slowly, and then we'll finish off talking about the end of the kata.
Donc, hier, on a vu le kata Chinte. Donc, ce matin, on va le refaire une fois tranquillement, puis on va poursuivre la fin du kata.
Okay, okay, so from the beginning, nice and relaxed. Okay, oi. And slowly. Yeah. Ni. Sa. Shi. To. Rocky. Jojo. Ich. Ni. Sa. Shi. Go. Rock. Shi. Touch. Kojo. Ich. Ni. Sa. She go. Okay, just to that ki. Okay, guys, let's go from this part again. So let's go from here because we didn't really talk about the block. So from here, go ich, ni, sa, she. Go, rock, shit, touch, go, jump. Okay, yummy. So, guys, those 10 moves from this point onto the ki, those 10 moves, just twice. Let me see what you're doing. Okay, go for it. Yeah.
And then off.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, guys. I just want to just spend a couple of minutes before we move past where we got up to yesterday. Just a couple of minutes on those uchukes. Okay, of course, with this kind of very strange kind of hand position, but as we talked about yesterday, this sense of blocking, getting ready to catch, just this kind of putting your pressure on that part of the hand, like this kakie. This kind of pulling and grabbing and capturing movement. Rather than uchuke, it's kind of more kake feeling as we go, right? But just the way that we're doing that is a little bit different. So from here, you've made shoulder dash. Your hips are square. So from here, it's really natural to get that compression and synchronize this rotation with your basic uchuke shape, yeah? So this one, get that preparation and really synchronize hip rotation with the pulling of the execution of the block before you drive forward for this Shotokan, Shizen, maybe not complete hammy, but like that Shizen feeling is okay. But the next one, I want you to kind of put a little bit more effort into, a little bit more thought. Then don't be, 2 ways you can do it. First way, you can super rotate and then counter rotate, like this classic uchuke basic kihon feeling. So from here, from this angle, you are rotating into shoulder and then rotating into handi to block this uchuke shape. You understand? That's super basic, super easy.
Donc, en fait, on va revenir sur le mouvement de bloc avec les deux doigts à la main ouverte qu'on a pratiqué hier. Donc, juste vous rappeler d'avoir la sensation de mettre une pression vers l'intérieur de votre main, là, du côté un peu du pouce, d'avoir l'impression de bloquer puis de vouloir agripper. Ça, c'est la première chose. Par la suite, il y a 2 façons aussi de faire le mouvement. Sensei les a démontrées, là, donc au niveau plus de la rotation de la hanche.
OK. But another way, a different way, a little bit more feeling, a little bit more kind of taste to your kata is this whip feeling. So from here, I want you to have this sense that you are whipping your hand directly. This directly whip. So rather than this over rotation, think that you're kind of moving in one fluid action to block. I should like slowly you're kind of pulling and then going directly in. So you're not kind of classically rotating, but you're just whipping your hips, still landing in shizen or hanmi, but maybe not ma hanmi completely back. Understand?
Donc, la première façon, ce serait de faire une rotation, puis ensuite une autre rotation, tandis que la deuxième façon, ce serait de plus fouetter la hanche, donc directement.
Okay, so give that a go, guys. If you have any questions, please ask, but just try. The second one, more of a whip rather than classic rotation. Okay, guys, just one more point about this. Like you need really strong and fine control of your hips and your ability to twitch from your hips in order to do this successfully. Otherwise, the weight of the technique will just pull your body around.
Donc, vous avez besoin de maîtriser, de bien maîtriser la force de votre hanche, puis le contrôle de vos hanches pour faire cette espèce de sensation de fouette, là, de vibration de la hanche, de mouvement sec de la hanche. Là.
So we see this a lot in different, like for example, in Sochin, after this, those who know Sochin, after this Mikazuki Geri, then you're doing Uchuki or Izuki. Then the first one, of course, is this squeeze and kind of completely rotate, and then this Jozuki. The next one, though, it's easy to whip, kind of coming direct. Of course, this makes hikite, but you don't play both hands rotation, counter rotation. You just whip your hip to produce this technique. We have this feeling in lots of different kata, and you should try to kind of build it up because it means that you're really working on fine control of your hips and your legs.
Donc, on vient de voir un exemple avec le kata qu'on vient de voir. Donc, au niveau du premier uchiuke, ça va plus être le principe de rotation de la hanche, donc rotation, tandis que le deuxième uchiuke, ça va vraiment être au niveau du twitch, la hanche, un petit mouvement sec avec une sensation de fouette. Puis pour faire ça, il faut vraiment maîtriser la force de la hanche. Puis il y a ce genre de technique-là dans plusieurs katas aussi.
Isabelle, one last point. Like this is kind of a whipping action. And you think like a bullwhip, where you're kind of cracking it at the end. It's very difficult to practice this slowly. It's the very fact of doing it fast and trying to have that fine tune of your hips. That is the practice. So I can see people kind of trying to do it slowly and orchestrate it. It's not really the same. Just throw yourself into it and then try to control the core after that.
I have a question, Sensei.
Yes.
Parce que le coup de poing, en principe, dans le livre Best Karaté, puis la façon que nous autres, on se le fait enseigner, on le fait en remontant.
Okay.
Donc, de façon aguée. Là. Les deux doigts partent, par exemple, de la poitrine, puis vont vers le haut.
So it would be from Best Karaté and the way that we got it taught, like we learned it that way from bottom to top in Agizuki form.
Yeah, so in Best Karate, they talk about this kind of coming up, which is true. Like you're kind of coming up, this feeling. Up and then in. But like even also Agizuki, a lot of people do this Agizuki like a flicking feeling. Whereas Agizuki is this, if I'm going to push the stomach and he reacts this kind of getting out of the way, and then I come up, this feeling. Like we're kind of coming up at the end, but ultimately it's the feeling of going into up. Well, this is the same. This is up feeling. Up and then in.
Push.
This feeling. This like this. You understand? So I wouldn't. Two things about kind of being kind of ingrained about like one simple description in best karate. Then of course this is quite a good physical reference point, but it was just one point, and it was a very simplified point. Like also in best karate, they teach like Jodan punch and Banji Gabai, the application of Banji Gabai being like this. There's lots of really oversimplification of stuff in best karate. So you want to be careful about how much kind of you dogmatically follow that. And just think about how this can have a rising feeling and then finish with the fall.
Donc, Sensei vient de dire qu'il y a beaucoup d'applications dans le best karaté. Parfois, sont simplifiées un peu, donc il faut faire attention pour ne pas nécessairement les appliquer de manière dogmatique. Donc, au niveau du mouvement qu'on vient de voir, il faut penser de ne pas nécessairement le faire uniquement en remontant, mais d'avoir plutôt la sensation de pénétrer puis de remonter. Donc, in and up.
So we should always respect the traditions of karate, but we always must remember it's an art, and if it's an art, it is constantly evolving, constantly growing.
Donc, il faut toujours respecter la tradition du karaté, c'est important, mais il ne faut jamais oublier que c'est un art, puis l'essence d'un art, ça va être aussi d'être en constante évolution.
Okay, guys, 1 minute, please practice that, and then we'll move on. Okay, Yame, good. Guys, just one more point, because I'm just watching people. There's an awful lot of people who, this kind of rising thing, to go back to this, then with AKJQ as well in MP, those of you who know MP, you'll see a lot of people who do this kind of feeling, and it kind of almost becomes like a flick, and you should try. You should try it on like everything that you do in kata. You should try it out. And so like if just like you can easily have this kind of feeling. So if you kind of try to make power this way in this kind of flicking manner, it never works, of course. You have to keep that kind of connection, just like Urazuki to Takniken to normal kind of seiken, and then kind of up at the end. But you need that connection right the way through. That's very different from this flick like a lot of people do in MP, and that's the only time that we have AKJQ in kata, of course. But like now I'm seeing quite a few people who are doing the same with nukite, doing the same. No, think how are you going to hit Teisho right the way through that course. Teisho to nukite. Not nukite flick, but Teisho to fingers in. This has effect. This has meaning. But this kind of fast flicking action has no meaning whatsoever. Understand?
Donc, il faut faire attention pour ne pas faire le mouvement trop en remontant. Il ne faut pas trop détacher le bras pour frapper en remontant. Ça n'a aucune puissance. Il faut vraiment se concentrer pour garder la connexion au niveau du bras, au niveau du coude avec la hanche, puis avoir l'impression qu'on va frapper avec la paume de la main, donc un peu teisho, puis ensuite changer pour nukite. Donc, il ne faut pas perdre la connexion si on ne veut pas perdre la puissance.
Okay, guys. Okay, let's go from okay, let's just go from that point that we've just been talking about. So we've made, I'm going to face the camera. So like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm here, I'm going to do this part, yeah? So I've got my right leg forward, I've just done right hand Nihon Mikite. So I'm going to step towards the camera. Now I've changed angle. I'm going to step towards the camera and take Teisho, and then squeeze it. And this is a punch. Okay? Okay, one more time together, yeah? Okay, 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 one more time. One more time. Okay, okay. Just those 4 moves, guys. Show me those 4 moves, just twice. Go for it. Okay, okay. So I can see a number of things. First thing is that okay, this is Teisho, and you want to be able to stay connected, like that elbow and hip connection. So keep that elbow and hip quite close to each other, so you can have that connection. And a lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people from here are going direct. So this arm is basically straight, and you go from a straight arm direct to this straight arm. Okay, be very careful that you do that, because you know, if you want to push, if you want to put power into your hand, the farther away it is from your body, the weaker it becomes.
Donc, faire attention de ne pas y aller trop direct. Donc, vraiment garder le coude et le plus rapproché de la hanche pour vraiment maintenir la connexion, ce qui va permettre d'avoir une meilleure puissance là, au niveau du mouvement.
Okay, second thing, so what I suggest from here is the first thing that you do is get that connection. So hip and elbow close together. And then as your body goes in, you can drive your body into it rather than just a hand movement that's separate from your body.
Donc, la première chose à faire, ça va être de rapprocher le coude du corps pour aller chercher cette connexion-là, puis ensuite entrer, faire le mouvement Teisho en étant bien connecté.
Okay, the next thing is that you have a chance to use 2 hands. Use both hands. Very rare in karate that we only use 1 hand. Like, for example, in Heian Shodan, we generally speaking only use 1 hand. But you know, if you start to use 2 hands, then it's not the end of the world. But that's really the only one of the few examples I can think of where you only use 1 hand. Here is not one of those examples. So from here, use both hands. Use both hands to drive in. Okay, don't think about this as a block. Think about this as a strike. So for example, okay, Isabel, do you want to translate?
Mais dans le fond, ça va être important d'utiliser les 2 bras en faisant le mouvement. Il y a beaucoup, la plupart des mouvements dans les kata vont utiliser 2 bras. Il y a très peu d'exemples de mouvements qui vont utiliser 1 bras. Le seul qu'on peut penser en ce moment, c'est Heian Shodan.
So for example, if Brun was going to attack Oizuki, then he's attacking here. He's attacking to me. So like say, you don't have to use the previous move, but say I'm generally in this movement and he's using here, then I'm blocking with my hikide hand. So this then becomes the connection. So from here, I'm driving in this way, okay? It's my body mass that's going in with this, not some sort of 1, 2 or something weird. Yeah, I'm using this. I'm using this to go in and then 1 more time. Double attack. But I am not trying to do something like this. That's kind of really almost impossible. But it seems that people are putting their intention in this hand. Only their intention in this hand. It's really difficult. You've got all limbs. Use them. Use them to drive your body mass in. And connect with your body mass for this Teisho. Understand?
Donc, en fait, pensez pas à bloquer avec votre mouvement Teisho, pensez plutôt à bloquer avec le mouvement qui fait le ikite, puis à contre-attaquer ou à transférer ensuite avec votre masse corporelle, avec votre poids pour faire une attaque.
Okay, 1 minute, guys, try. If you have any questions, please ask. Francois, use both hands, yeah? You release this hand. Release this hand. As soon as you move, release. Release and drive, yeah? Then Rene, let your teisho come from the side more. Like when you're preparing, don't let it come straight. Make sure it's connected where it's coming from the outside. Outside feeling. Yeah. But it's not a hand movement, it's a body rotation movement. Boom, boom, this thing, yeah? Sharif, don't push your hand. Teisho is never straight. It's you're kind of pushing your hand out. It becomes less effective. Lock that in. This position. It's quite close, as if you're hugging somebody. This figure.
Excuse, Isabelle, j'aurais une question. Est-ce que les mouvements de jambes, les positions de jambes, là, quand on fait ces deux mouvements-là, est-ce que c'est Fudo Dashi le premier, puis Zenkutsu le deuxième, ou lui, il fait 2 fois Fudo?
Footwork, Sensei. Is it Fudo Dashi, then Zenkutsu Dashi, or twice Fudo Dashi, or something else?
So I've seen it done everywhere. I've seen it both ways. I've seen some people do both Furudachi. I've seen some people do Furudachi, Zenkutsu. It's up to you. Like, generally speaking, I prefer Furudachi, but it makes sense because of the rest of the kata when you're doing kind of tatte storing Furudachi and then Zenkutsu. So maybe it makes sense to do 1 and 2, but actually, we'll talk about this in a minute, but the answer is either is good.
Donc, en fait, les deux, c'est bon. On peut faire Fudo, on peut faire Fudo, Zenkutsu. Sensei dit que personnellement, il préférerait peut-être plus Fudo, mais que pour garder l'essence du kata, ou est-ce que dans les autres mouvements, on fait souvent Fudo puis Zenkutsu, ça peut être bien de le garder comme ça aussi, mais on va en reparler dans 2 minutes.
Okay, Yame, good. So we'll use that, guys, as just something to go forward from. Then, kata is constantly evolving. Most of the Shotokan form, with the exception of 1 or 2, most of the Shotokan kata, of course, originate from Okinawan kata. And most of Okinawan kata originate from Chinese form. And so, it's very difficult. If you say, okay, I'm practicing JK Karate, then what JK Karate? JK Karate of, Nakayama Sensei, or JK Karate of maybe Tanaka Sensei, or now Naka Sensei, he's very popular. Like, which JK Karate are you practicing? Or if you're saying, I practice traditional karate, well, which traditional karate? Nakayama, Funakoshi, maybe before Funakoshi, Tosu Sensei? There's lots of different ways. And so just don't be strict with yourself. Listen to your body and make sure it works for you and the technique is effective, rather than saying, oh, Nakayama Sensei did this, I'm absolutely doing that, even though it might not suit your body. Do you understand?
Donc, en fait, le karaté, c'est une tradition, mais c'est une tradition qui évolue constamment aussi. Donc, on peut penser au karaté du Japon qui partait d'Okinawa, mais il y a beaucoup d'Okinawa, de techniques d'Okinawa qui ont été inspirées de la Chine. Donc, en fait, quand on se dit « je suis le karaté traditionnel », ça peut devenir difficile de se dire quelle tradition. Donc, en fait, le plus important, ça va être vraiment d'écouter son corps en premier lieu, de s'écouter aussi.
Because ultimately, if that's what you're doing, you're focusing on the superficial. You're focusing on, say, if you you know, look at a picture of somebody, Nakayama Sensei, doing something. I want to do that karate. Well, that's not even karate. That's just a picture. It's a picture of one part of what karate is, which is movement. And so to try to follow that, I think is a very superficial way to do it. What you really want to do is think about the movement, think about the principle, think about the ideas that the kata was trying to teach you, and follow that, and then see how that works for your body.
Donc, en fait, quand on dit « je veux être comme telle personne » ou comme telle personne, par exemple, en regardant une photo, ça peut rapidement devenir très, très superficiel parce que justement, c'est une photo, donc ce serait important de se concentrer davantage sur le mouvement global du karaté.
Okay, so for example, the next movement, yeah? The next movement we're here, and then I'm seeing some people, they're kind of doing this, and then this. And so as if they are attacking someone behind, and then attacking someone, the same person. Then this was never the original kata. The original kata was just pulling, and then this is quite center. Maybe kibidachi, maybe it's furudachi, doesn't really matter. But it was here, and it's only Shotokan over the years that has become definitely furudachi and definitely kind of this. So even Nakayama Sensei was teaching 45 degrees, originally kind of side on. So I want you to think about what you're trying to do. So, like for example, in Brun, often these are often grabs. So like for example, if Brun attacks. I'll actually, yeah, okay, yeah. So if you attack at 1, 2, and I'm attacking this, headbutt, and then pulling, and then this Kasami Suki, as you pull infinity. So this pull attack, pull attack, pull attack, and it's the same feeling as this kind of feeling like we were doing yesterday. This anti-absorption, pull attack feeling. But like Goju Shiho Short, which someone attacks, you're creating the cage and headbutting. Creating the cage and headbutting. 1, 2, 3. This feeling of 1, maybe hit. 2, then from here, this spring kick. 1, 2, 3. You understand?
Yes.
These feelings are head, not this, but this attack. So try to have that feeling. 1, 2. This this feeling as you attack. Have that feeling.
Souvent, on va avoir tendance à penser à frapper vers l'arrière avec nos 2 bras, donc on va se concentrer juste sur le mouvement de nos bras, mais Sensei il montre qu'il y a plusieurs applications possibles, donc entre autres, d'avoir la sensation de donner un coup de tête ou d'agripper quelqu'un puis ensuite de frapper un peu comme on a vu avec le principe d'anti-absorption hier.
Okay, 1 minute guys, practice.
Okay. Sensei?
Yes.
Could you do, after Nyan Nukite, could you do the Tai Sho slowly?
Yep. So
I want to check for the both hand. Okay. Could you do that again? Another time, please.
Other side?
Any side?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this is okay now. Thank you.
Boss. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Practice. If you have any questions, please ask.
Sensei, I have a question.
Yes.
The last movement of this series, I have a hard time to find my arm connection.
With this Kasami ski. Okay, so Susan, think about, okay, I like Roo really, and sometimes I want to give him a hug, give a big hug, okay? Then how you make a hug and lift someone up, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Because that is ultimately the best connection. to connect someone, to hold something heavy. That's the bit that you're trying to create. So don't make it a hand technique. Make it a chest technique. Chest, this way. So there's one, open your chest, head in, and then boom, close your chest. Understand? Okay. Carry on, guys. 1 more minute. Okay, good. Guys, just one last point about this. And I don't want to go on and on about it because, of course, you know, you might need to turn and face directly back to Shoman, yeah? So you might need, at this point, to be able to turn directly completely round and turn 180 degrees, with not only with your stance, but with your targeting, okay? Maybe that's part of what you need to do. But if you do that, this hand isn't effective. Because what you're doing is you turn, and then you're continuing to turn and come in. This hand isn't really moving. Whereas if the target is, like Nakayama Sensei taught, 45 degrees. Before Nakayama Sensei, for example, in Waseda University, they still follow Funakoshi Sensei's teachings. So in Waseda University, there are still 2 people who got Shodan with Funakoshi. They're like 90 years old now, but they still teach Funakoshi Sensei's teaching. They teach side. Nakayama was here. JK now is completely here. But the more you go around, the less this hand is working. If it's here, both hands are working. Both hands. Here, there's a little bit less. Here, almost nothing. And I'm seeing lots of people who are, and it's only really this hand that's being applied. You understand?
Donc, en fait, on pouvait avoir besoin de tourner à 180 degrés, donc complètement en ligne droite. Par contre, quand on fait ça, il faut se rappeler que le bras gauche devient complètement inefficace. Donc, en fait, selon la tradition, à la base, Funakoshi était plus en angle, donc plus près du 90 degrés. Nakayama était un petit peu plus prononcé au niveau de l'angle. Puis maintenant, on a la JKA qui est complètement en ligne droite. Donc, c'est plus superficiel comme façon de faire les choses, mais c'est ça, on se retrouve avec un bras qui est relativement inefficace en faisant ça comme ça.
Okay, guys, let's go from this nukite. Right leg, right hand nukite. Okay, so you're easy. Go, rock, shit, touch, cool, George. Okay, the lovely end of Chinte. Okay, one more time from here, one more time. Okay. Go, look, shit, touch, cool, George. Yeah, I relax. So, these hops, I'm not going to spend too long on them. Just to say that I've been taught a few different ways over the years. I've never been taught a really particularly good application for it. I have failed in my imagination to come up with anything of any kind of great insight in terms of application. Well, just the variance, I would say, is that from here, universally, you want to be able to have your feet continuously flow. So this foot comes back and continues to move. There's no stopping with that. So you're going 1, back, 2, 3. Okay, so that's no matter who I've trained with, and I think there's kind of a great control there of not just stepping and then jumping. The step is the jump. Okay, that's one point. Second point is that I have been taught this side, side, side. And so you zigzag a little bit. That's another variation. But like generally speaking, I think generally within the Shotokan world, it's just straight back. Well, it's not straight back, but it's in line with the direction of your feet. So you're going slightly offline. You're going slightly offline. That's it.
Donc, en fait, au niveau de la fin du kata, il y a plusieurs façons de le voir. Donc, en fait, on vient d'en voir plusieurs. La première, ce serait... en fait, dans l'ensemble, tous s'entendent pour dire que quand on fait le premier saut, ça va être de ramener la jambe à l'autre pied, puis faire le saut de manière continue. Donc, pas ramener puis ensuite sauter, mais vraiment ramener puis sauter sans qu'il y ait de coupure entre les deux. Ça, c'est généralement parlant. Sinon, il y a certaines variations. Dans certains cas, on va sauter un peu en angle, donc de côté. Puis, dans d'autres cas, qui serait peut-être la mieux ou la plus acceptée, ce serait d'y aller plus en ligne droite, mais légèrement en angle pour suivre le mouvement du retrait de la jambe avant initial.
Okay, guys, try guys for a couple of minutes. Just a couple of minutes, and if you have any questions, please ask. Okay, yeah, man. So, guys, that is what it is. Those hops at the end. Then I've heard everything from, you know, it was just merely to get back to the start position. I've heard crazy things like, you know, someone is trying to get you with a chain and you're jumping out the way. You know, there's lots of different things. You can certainly apply it. For example, like if through attacks and you're blocking and you're hitting Chinte shot, and then this pulling down, pulling feeling, like in this kind of Aikido thing. But that seems possible, but not particularly effective. My personal feeling is probably just they wanted to get back to the Embusen, because the Shotokan Embusen became paramount. In Okinawan Karate, Embusen doesn't matter. But in Shotokan, Embusen is important for whatever reason. And so to get back to the beginning, maybe. Who knows?
Donc, en fait, il y a plusieurs façons de voir la fin de Chinte. Une, ce serait de tout simplement revenir au point de départ du kata. Une autre, ça pourrait être que quelqu'un nous attaque avec des chaînes, donc il faut sauter par-dessus les chaînes. Une troisième application, ça peut être ce qu'on vient de voir dans la démonstration avec Ryu Sensei, qui se trouve être d'agripper l'attaque puis de se retirer là, en descendant. Mais Sensei dit qu'il y a des fortes chances que ce soit que l'hypothèse de l'Ambusen soit la bonne, étant donné qu'au niveau du Shotokan, l'Ambusen est quelque chose de très, très important.
Okay. However, let's do Scooby-Doo ending.
Maintenant, faisons la fin de Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Translated Scooby-Doo. Okay, so we'll do the ending and then we'll talk about it, yeah? Okay, so from here, this is the last move, yeah? Okay, so from here, stepping back, stop. Step back, stop, in. Okay, then forward empty knee. Okay, step back, touchy stop, san. And then touchy kanchi. And then back. Okay, one more time. So again, we're going in that slight diagonal way of moving, yeah? Zenkutsu, sorry, kokutsu, zenkutsu, zenkutsu, zenkutsu. So, oh, sorry, funachi, zenkutsu. So from here, yo. So stepping back, kokutsu, and then empty knee. Then tate kan funachi, sa. And then zenkutsu, and then back to your position. Understand? Let's do one more time. One more time. Okay, so from here, you stepping straight back, hitch, then Zenkutsu, then touch, and touch. It's good. Okay, so this is the Scooby-Doo ending, and like, to be completely serious, some of you might know an instructor called Steve Ubel Sensei. Steve Ubel Sensei was a long-time student of Nishiyama Sensei and was one of the very few people to do the instructor's course with Nishiyama Sensei full-time. He was the only person to do the instructor's course full-time with Nishiyama Sensei. Do you want to translate?
Ben, en fait, on vient de voir la fin de Scooby-Doo du kata, puis Sensei vient de parler d'un Sensei Ubel qui a été le premier. Who was the first? He was the first person. He was the only person to do the instructor's course with Nishiyama Sensei full time. Il a été le premier, sinon le seul, à faire les cours d'instructeur de l'autre sensei. But more importantly, he spent many years in Japan, and he was the first student to live and train at the Hoitsugan Dojo, which was Nakayama Sensei's private dojo. Il a été le premier, mais il a passé beaucoup de temps au Japon, puis il a été le premier à s'entraîner au dojo de Nakayama. And so from 1972 until about 1980, he was living in Japan, and then he lived in Japan for 3 years, and then he came back, and then every year he'd go back for about 6 months, and he did that for those 8 years. Fait que dans le fond, de 72 à 80, il a fait beaucoup d'allers-retours au Japon. So, my point is, Steve Ubel Sensei, I spoke to Steve Ubel Sensei about this. He showed me this ending, and he said, well, and I completely believe him, there's no reason why he would not tell the truth. So Nakayama Sensei spoke about this ending and demonstrated it, and spoke about it with a group of non-Shotokan karateka, and talked about it as being either the original ending or a possible ending. But either way, this came from Nakayama Sensei. Donc, en fait, Sensei Ubel a dit que Sensei Nakayama avait démontré cette fin-là avec un groupe de personnes qui ne faisaient pas du Shotokan, donc non-Shotokan, puis qui a dit que c'était une des fins possibles du kata. Now, do I think that we should change the kata? No, of course not. But I think with the understanding that kata is fluid, forever changing, forever being dynamic, then we should always have this sense that there is possibilities. And if we want a possibility, then this is one of them. And certainly it comes from the authority of Nakayama Sensei. Donc, est-ce qu'on devrait changer le kata? Pas nécessairement, mais il faut toujours se rappeler que le karaté est en constante évolution, puis donc ça amène beaucoup de possibilités, puis aussi que cette possibilité-là vient directement de Sensei Nakayama. Okay, so please practice it a couple of times, and if you have any questions, please ask. Donc, pratiquez-le un peu, puis si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez les poser.
So it's fast. That's
yeah, all fast. Yeah. So let's go all the way through, guys, from the beginning to the end. Okay, we'll do it once slowly. If you think of any questions, you can ask questions. And then we'll do it once, speed and power. Okay?
Donc, on va faire le kata lentement. Pensez, si jamais vous avez des questions, vous pourrez les poser, puis on va le faire en vitesse.
Okay, ready. Okay, slowly, nice and nice. Yish. Ni. San. Chico. Roshi. Hach. Go. Jo. Ich. go, ich, ni, sa, shi, go, rock, shi, touch, ka, jo, ich, ni, sa, shi, and go, rock. Okay, before we do a speed and power, any questions? Last questions of Chinte.
Isabelle?
Yep.
La fin, je ne l'ai pas retenue, ça va dire. Est-ce que ça va être possible de le refaire?
Okay, we can't remember the ending, so could you do it again, please? Your new ending, the Scooby-Doo ending.
The Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo ending, yes. You must call it the Scooby-Doo ending. Just don't tell Steve Uble Sensei. Okay, so you've done this last tate sto, tate ken. Then from here, straight back, stop. Coco touch. Then driving forward, empty. Then stepping back, tate stop. And then driving forward, tate ken. And then just back. That's all. Okay? Just those 4 moves. Okay, last time, guys. All the way through, spin power. Okay, oi. Okay, today. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shish, hat, go, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shish, touch, cool. Okay, good. Okay, we only got like 15 minutes left, so let's just do a quick exercise, yeah? Okay, so from here, left hand out. Okay, so make choksuki, then uchuke knee. Okay, just like kankudai, basadai, yeah? Okay, hand punch, ashi block. Okay, go, and block, look. Shi, touch, gojo. Okay, so guys, let me just watch. I want you to do that 10 times. So punch, block, 10 times. Go for it. Let me see what you're doing. Okay, yummy. Yummy, good. So, guys, obviously, the theme, apart from Chinte, the other theme that we've been doing this weekend is this Tai Sabaki. And the approach that I've taken to teaching Tai Sabaki, because of course, we're not really doing partner work, obviously. So the approach that I've been taking is about trying to create that elastic, powerful spring in your step. That Tai Sabaki just means, you know, body control, body management, literally to get out the way of stuff in that controlled, explosive way. And mostly that's focused, of course, on our legs and our hips and our feet. Yeah, we were talking about trying to make your feet strong. Think about them as muscles rather than groups of bones. So last 10 minutes of the class, last 15, 10 minutes of the class, we're going to do the same sort of feeling, but with our upper body. So I'm seeing a lot of people who are doing this. You're going 1 and then 2 and just kind of going direct. I'm seeing some people go 1 on the preparation, rotating, and then only hand technique at the end. I'm seeing kind of lots of different kind of little tweaks in timing that is maybe not particularly efficient. Okay, I want you to think about your arm is that it has a spring, and it's actually real, yeah? There's something called, okay, Isabelle, sorry, do you want to translate something? Sorry.
Donc, en fait, le thème de la fin de semaine, c'est le Tai Sabaki qu'on a vu un peu dans les autres cours. Une des manières d'aborder le Tai Sabaki, ça va être en pratiquant au niveau de l'élasticité du corps, donc tout le travail qu'on a fait dans les jours précédents. Maintenant, Sensei veut qu'on applique ce concept-là d'élasticité, mais au niveau du haut du corps. Donc,
Okay, so I want, are you ready? Are you good? Yeah, yeah, okay. So I want you to think about your arm having a spring. So this is a very real thing. It's called the Golgi tendon reflex. And it's exactly the same as the knee-jerk reaction. When you put your knee over and the doctor hits it, you go down like this. Like this is called the knee-jerk reaction. It's actually the Golgi tendon reflex.
On a quelque chose qui s'appelle le Golgi tendon reflex. Désolée, je ne sais pas comment traduire, si quelqu'un sait comment traduire ça, mais c'est l'espèce de réflexe là, qui vient de démontrer.
So for example, when we kick, when we do a simple technique, like these kind of snapping techniques, your foot naturally snaps back.
Quand on fait une technique de jambe, notre pied va avoir tendance à revenir naturellement.
Okay, this Golgi tendon reflex is to stop you from hyperextending the joint.
Donc, c'est un réflexe qui va servir à ne pas aller en hyperextension là, au niveau des articulations.
Okay, every time we do kind of kumite and we snap our technique, this is the same reflex.
Donc, on vient de me dire que c'est le réflexe patellaire. Puis, quand on va faire les techniques au niveau du bras, ça va être un peu le même principe de réflexe là, pour ne pas aller en hyperextension.
So, put that feeling into this exercise. So from here, use two hands to block, two hands to punch. From here, there's one, snap back, then two. One, snap back, two. Not 1, 2, 3. No. Snap, rotate. Snap, rotate. Snap, rotate. 1, 2. Understand?
Donc, on essaie d'appliquer ce réflexe-là et de faire le retour pour ensuite faire la seconde technique, donc d'appliquer vraiment le principe du réflexe patellaire, mais au bras.
Okay, 1 minute, guys. Let me see. Okay, yummy. Guys, please watch. Many of you are doing 1 or 2 things. The first mistake is that many of you, like say you started from here, many of you are rotating and your hips have rotated. And then there's not much left for this uchuke. So you're rotating completely on the punch and then you have nothing on the block. Or some people are making shomen, but then rotating on the preparation, then nothing. Shomen, rotate, nothing. Shomen, rotate, nothing. So timing of your hips is vital, as well as this relaxation.
Donc, en fait, il y a 2 applications qui sont mauvaises qu'on vient de voir. La première, c'est d'aller tout de suite rotationner la hanche en faisant le coup de poing. Donc, on n'a plus de pouvoir de rotation en faisant le bloc. La deuxième façon, qui n'est pas bonne non plus, ce serait de faire le Oizuki Shomen, mais d'aller en 45 avec la hanche au moment de la préparation. Donc, encore une fois, à ce moment-là, on n'a plus de puissance, on n'a plus de pouvoir de rotation pour faire le bloc.
Okay, 1 more minute, guys. Then Genevieve, relax your shoulders and snap. Don't leave your punching arm out. Snap your punching arm. Then Jose, you're Valencourt. Jose, you're doing 2 sharp movements, but it's a little bit stiff. I don't want to see this fist. Snap, snap, relax, snap, relax. You're stopping and then starting again.
Donc, n'oubliez pas de relaxer au moment de la préparation. Puis, au niveau de la rotation des hanches, comme on disait tout à l'heure, ça va vraiment être important au niveau du timing.
Then, Linda, make sure you're landing in Shotokan. Shotokan on the punch. Hold that form for the split second. Shotokan, relax, then rotation. You're already starting to turn. Yeah, timing. Okay, yummy. So guys, listen. Like, this of course is in Basai Dai. It's also in Kanko Dai. So let's just think about Kanko Dai. Kanko Dai, generally speaking, we use Basai Dai, generally speaking, you do one hand uchuke. One hand uchuke. Kanko Dai, generally speaking, is two hands. Two hands. Really, it makes no difference, okay? But let's just kind of focus on Kanko Dai. So this movement exists in Kanko Dai, and it also exists in Kanko Sho.
Donc, en fait, le mouvement qu'on vient de pratiquer se retrouve dans Basai Dai, puis dans Kanko Dai. Au niveau de Basai Dai, on va principalement utiliser un seul bras pour bloquer, tandis que Kanko Dai, on va utiliser les deux bras. Mais on retrouve aussi ce mouvement-là dans Kanko Sho.
So, of course, this physical form doesn't exist in Kanko Sho, but the feeling does, because both kata come from kushanku.
Donc, en fait, la forme en tant que telle n'existe pas dans Kanko Sho, mais le feeling, la sensation existe parce que les deux katas viennent de... Did they come from?
Kushanku.
Kushanku.
Kushanku is Okinawan kata. Okay. So in Kushanku, you have this snap punch. I'll show you from the side. This snap. It's like, maybe it's difficult to show you on camera, but you are punching, relaxing. Elbow down, fist still pointing to target. It's snap. In Kanko Dai, this became this. In Kanko Sho, this became this. You understand? The same movement in Kushanku produced two different shapes in Kanko Dai and Kanko Sho, but the feeling is the same.
Donc, on vient de voir en fait que les deux applications proviennent du kata kushanku qui vient originellement du style Shito-ryu. Puis, on vient de voir deux façons de le faire ou de l'extrapoler différemment dans Kanko Dai puis dans Kanko Sho.
So, for those who know Kanko Sho, maybe some people are 1, 2. Maybe some people are 1, 2. But what I really want you to do is have the same snap feeling. This 1, 2, this feeling. Punch, relax. Punch, relax. Understand?
Donc, en fait, la forme n'est pas pareille, mais on devrait toujours retrouver la même sensation comme on vient de voir.
Okay. Try, guys. And if you have any questions, please ask. Okay, Amen. Good. Okay, so guys, I mean, we're running out of time, but my point is that you should think about your body as a complete spring, an elastic spring.
Donc, on manque un peu de temps, mais le point principal, ce serait de considérer le corps comme un élastique, mais dans son entièreté, en fait.
So I think most people when they think of their body, let's use the analogy of a bridge. So they think like a bridge, it's one rock and next or stone, and you create a bridge. Yeah?
Donc, souvent, les gens, quand ils vont penser au corps, ils vont penser au principe d'un pont ou d'un arche, donc l'accumulation des roches pour former le pont ou l'arche.
And they think about the body in the same way. You have one bone on the next bone and each bone on top of each other, and you create this skeleton, this structure.
Donc, on retrouverait un peu cette même comparaison-là avec le corps au niveau des os. Donc, ils ont une accumulation d'os qui formerait le tout au niveau du corps.
But this is the worst way of thinking about your body, because we all know if two bones touch each other, it starts rubbing and you get arthritis, you get inflammation, and it's really bad. If joints start to rub, it's really bad. Bones don't touch each other.
Mais en fait, ça se trouve être la pire façon d'imager le corps, parce que tout le monde sait que si on a deux os qui se touchent directement, ça ne fonctionnera pas. Ils vont s'effriter.
So I want you to think of your body like a suspension bridge. You know, like a big, long suspension bridge that has like steel wire holding these parts in place by tension.
Donc, il faudrait plutôt voir le corps comme un pont en suspension avec des morceaux métalliques qui vont le solidifier, qui vont rendre le tout là, plus cohérent.
So, for example, you know, like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, this is a suspension bridge and it moves. In high weather, it wobbles. It kind of has this way of vibrating because it's in tension and it kind of moves. If it was stiff, it would break. But because it's relaxed and fluid, it can move and take different winds and tremors and stuff like this.
Donc, on donne l'exemple d'un pont ici en suspension qui bouge un peu de par sa structure, qui est capable d'absorber un peu les chocs, tandis que s'il serait rigide, en fait, il se briserait, il se casserait.
Understand? Okay, so your body is the Golden Gate Bridge.
Donc, votre corps est ce pont-là dont on vient de parler, le Golden Gate Bridge, qui doit être...
Always painting.
Donc, toujours en train de s'ajuster, de s'adapter.
Okay, last one. Yoi. Okay, Golden Gate Bridge Karate. Okay, yoi. Ni. Ta. Ti. Go. Ro. Chich. Hatch. Go. Yo. Okay, last one. Shizenta, left hand out. Okay, so Oizuki pull. Okay, then back knee pull. Okay, Oizuki pull. Sa. Shi. Go. Look. Shich. Hatch. Go. Yoga. Ha. Ay, relax. Handshakes. Good. Okay, guys, that's our time. No. Okay, guys, speak together. Okay, I just want to say a big thank you to Jill Sensei, Brian Sensei, and everybody at the AKJQ Association Karate Japanese Quebec. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a true pleasure teaching you guys this weekend.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
To accept
Thank you very much. Yes.
Kangeiko.
My pleasure.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was so great.